live streaming. All right, lovely. So, hello friends, or hello everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining us now. We are back to our weekly sessions, or the week that was, and the week that is expected to be. At the outset, sorry for the delay, because we were into our regular mentoring sessions with our students. So this session got delayed accordingly. As we do discuss it every time, we start with indices. We discuss how the prices have moved in the last 1 week, and then see how the prices are expected to move in the forthcoming week across. We will start with indices. First indices being the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The chart is in front of you with the indicators, with the parameters across. What the chart is now talking about for the last few weeks or entire 2023 is a sideways consolidation happening on the market, on the broader markets. You look at all of these right from 26th of January or onwards. So these are day charts. I could convert this to a weekly chart also. Look at this weekly chart, box price movement within the week. Last 2 weeks have been seen doji candles, and moving average 8 is supporting it very, very strongly. We do have a crossover on the moving averages at 20 and 34. We do have our super trend in the bullish trend on a weekly chart, climbing after being steady for some time. The Bollingers are moving up, mid Bollinger moving up, and MACD above the zero line. But the price is moving in a very, very narrow range and giving you doji candles on a weekly chart. That only indicates indecisiveness by the market for the last 2 weeks on the Dow Jones broader markets indices, and possibly consolidation happening at this level. Now, when I'm giving you this level, this is the level at 34,400, where it is consolidating and giving you a stiff resistance to cross over. So for any meaningful upward movement, Dow Jones has to cross the high of the previous 2 weeks, which is 34,334 or 34,333. Very important number, 34,333. If this is crossed on a conclusive closing basis, look for a higher target only above that. Else, again, sideways movement. Right? This is on a weekly chart. The same thing on a day chart will give you the same indication. A clear box movement. A clear box movement is being seen. This is nothing but consolidation happening at this level, waiting for it to break. If the upper end breaks, if this breaks, it will give you a straight upward movement. The height of this rectangle is the above target immediately available. So if 34,333 breaks, 35,000 is the first target, and then thereafter. Clear? Where are we? Can we draw this and remove this? Now, as compared to this, look at NASDAQ. Again, let's take the weekly chart. The trend has just turned bullish on a weekly chart. And after turning bullish, it gave me a inverted hammer. That means if you look at it, this price of 12,178 is again acting like a resistance. So you're looking for an argument or a trend. If this is crossed, if 12,222 is crossed, your first target will be at 12,900 or 13,000 comfortably. So NASDAQ crossing 12,222 is important. If that is breached and broken out on a positive direction, 12,900 or 13,000 is the first target we will look at on NASDAQ, and it has just turned bullish about 2 weeks back. The day chart on NASDAQ, it closed towards the end lower portion of the week, which is why strong support levels at this super trend level, which is 11,450, 11,450, 11,475, very strong support levels, expecting a bounce back and target of 12,222 first. Whenever 12,222 gets taken out, your target of 13,000 is getting activated. But currently, get ready to buy at around 11,450, 11,475 with minimal stop loss. Here, you can easily look at buying it at the mid-Bollinger Band level of 20 moving average. Your 20 moving average, 200 moving average, and your super trend are almost all at the same price of 11,445, 450 or 444. So look to buy NASDAQ at 11,444. First target 12,222. Next target 12,900 or 13,000. But because it closed at the end, at the low end of the week, that correction of 12,000 or 11,444 till that point is easily expected because your MACD has given you the negative crossover. It will come down, test 11,444 levels definitely. So that is another about 270 points lower levels can be bought at. But NASDAQ buying level is clearly defined, 11,444. Right? That should be a strong buy level for NASDAQ. On the same thing, on the Dow Jones, your buy zone is somewhere around this level, 33,333 or 33,400. That is the zone to be buying it at. Why should it correct down? Your indicators are all turned bearish at the zero line, turning bearish, expecting to go down. If it goes down, that is the line to expect. Just above the lower Bollinger Band, 33,400 or 33,333. Targets for this very clearly, 34,190, 34,200 or higher of 34,333. Immediate target supports. Clear? As compared to this, your TSX is still looking stronger and upgraded. No negative crossovers yet done, but expected a negative crossover following the Dow Jones and the broader markets of the US market. But currently, no crossovers, negative crossovers yet on TSX. With TSX, you're already above a threshold level. You are expecting your target, first target of 21,000 and then thereafter a target of 21,700. still stronger, super trend climbing, not yet plateaued and flattening, but climbing very close crossover on super trend with moving average of 34, 20 moving average climbing, 8 moving average climbing, and giving it a support, very strong trailing support on 8 moving average is on the line. Bollinger Bands are both moving, climbing up. That means TSX is expected to climb further. Targets are clear, 20,950, 21,000, or higher up, 21,500, 21,666. I would look at 21,666, a very clean target, achievable, if you ask me, within the next 2 weeks. That means I'm talking about 1,000-point movement on TSX in the next 2.5 weeks. Right? So the only issue that is affecting me is the Russian news expected, which was not expected, but came in on Friday. Russia planning an adverse or increasing the hostility on Ukraine could be the only dampener on the US markets as well as the Canadian markets on the indices. I am open to questions if you want to ask some.
Sarji, I have a question on the TSX daily chart. Weekly chart. On the weekly chart, if I look at the three peaks that I see, the first at 15th August, and then if there are three curves that you can very clearly see, the last three curves. So we are just at the peak of the third curve, and both all the three peaks form a straight line, a kind of a resistance line.
Yes.
So
yes.
There's a good chance that this could go down a bit before taking that support from the I think 8 moving average that you have. So
right.
Probably one more red candle could be on the horizon.
Yes, which is why I told you very clearly, buying would be at 19,555 or 19,600.
Okay.
That is one. Number one. Number two, the indicators, the moving averages are still climbing. So the 8 moving average is climbing, and this is the last candle, the doji candle, weekly doji candle. Right? Number one. Number two, indicators are climbing. Number three, your crossover on MACD has still not taken place. Your CCI is still at 93, which is very, very healthy. Your stochastic is at 93, which is very, very overbought. So a correction is due, but correction due could only be the low of the last 2 weeks, which will be as low as 20,400. So you're just talking about a 200-point correction and letting it go up. Okay. This low of this week of 22nd January, the low is 20,402. Right? I would not expect that to break easily. And 8 moving average is 20,206. If I look at the last 4-week low, the low is 20,258. This is 20,400, 20,258, and 8 moving average is 20,206.
Right.
So last 1 month of 4-week low is still above your 8 moving average.
Okay.
Right? Volumes have dipped, but they haven't dipped considerably. That is why the doji which is there is giving you an indication of exhaustion for some time or consolidation before the next step takes in. But the Bollinger Bands are clearly talking about climb. Your super trend is clearly talking about climb and slight flattening, but your indicators are all still in a mood to climb up. As compared this to Dow Jones, TSX is looking strong. That's the reason why I said the only dark cloud cover is the Ukraine-Russia war. But that also, because of the sentiment on the Dow Jones, this will get affected marginally. But if this breaks the high of 20,850, your target for 2021,666 is just around the corner. So it will be you never know, it could be a sudden Marubazu candle going up to take this high out and take it to a new trajectory. Okay. Because the high so far, the all-time high is not very far. $22,213, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That is the all-time high. Yeah, 22,213 is the all-time high. And you are just currently at 2612. So you're talking about 1,500 points or 1,600 points away. And 1,600 points can be picked up. Out of the 1,600,000 point target is already what I'm giving you. So if 21,600 is on the card, 22,200 is not far away after that. Which is why I told you very clearly 2 or 3 weeks, this could happen. But I'm not expecting the Ukraine war to prolong for very long, but be in the decisive stage now. And so the indicators are already talking about it.
Right. So long positions on this essentially are still worth holding.
Long positions on TSS are still worth holding. Or if you're wanting to add positions, you can add positions with a slight dip of about 200 or 250 points on the TSX index.
Right. Yes.
Right?
Fair enough. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. All right. Munir has Google, SOX, Meta, and the others. So, Munir, will you just start talking about SPX? 1 second. Let me now check that out and open up SPX for you. Why is this chart not? Why is it not opening a weekly chart?
So try SPY.
Opening a minute chart, but not weekly. Munir, very clearly SPY. SPY is what we are discussing on SPX. SPY 20 moving average giving us support, but MACD has given you the negative crossover. CCI clearly falling down. Minus 12 can go further down. And stochastic is also climbing down, flattish but down. So on SPY, look at a first support at the level of 398,400, which should be giving you the support at 34 moving average also. This will also be the support over here, the same range 398,400. and expect a bounce back. But this can be touched. This is the day chart. Let's see the week. The week is showing very clearly. The week had turned bearish or bullish, but the last candle is still doji, which is why, keeping in mind the US markets, that correction is due. That correction can come slightly in. But if this breaks out, if the high of the previous week gets taken out at 412, at 420, then this is your target, 428. You can always trade once 419 is touched on a closing basis for a target of 428 or 429. Right? But indicator wise, there is pressure coming in over here. Weekly charts. The day charts are also indicating of the similar thing. Big Marubazu candle. This candle is trying to be an insight, but you will see the selling pressure coming on Monday also. There was buying pressure coming in here, but you will see selling pressure coming on Monday in continuation to this crossover of MACD and the CCI falling. So in continuation of this 20 moving average can be crossed over to come to a figure of 400 or 398. And there is when you will see your first buying coming in. So if you were to trade SPY, I would put a trade, advanced trade buy order at about 400, stop loss of 395 or 392. Stop loss of 392 or 390, 395 also. Right? So I could buy at 400, stop loss of 392, 395, target of approximately about 415 or 418. SOX Meta. SOX, if I'm not mistaken, we were discussing it last weekend also. It was not Muni, but somebody else who talked about it. And I told you, you're already at a multi-week low. Yes. You are at a multi-week low. Though you have seen a reversal happening, but I was not yet convinced. Because you will see this happening over here. This is at 21. 21, we had not touched for a very, very long time. For a very long time, this has not been touched. So you were almost about at a 2-year low, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yes. You are at a 2-year low on this stock. I would not be keen to enter this stock yet. It always falls, consolidates, and falls further. It's on a 2-year plus low. At this point of time, I am not very keen to enter this stock. We were discussing this, I think, last week
Yeah.
also.
Last week for Sunita.
Meta. Sorry. The last candle is not very encouraging, if you ask me. Though they are trying to give you the correction after the big Marubazu of the previous week. But not yet clear direction, for the simple reason you are at weekly resistances. This is a weekly resistance over here. 188, weekly support and resistance. Current price 174. You look at the high of the previous week, high was 197. High this week was again 193. Lower highs 188. 188 or 187 is a weekly resistance for you, which was a support, oh God, which was the support over here, acted like a resistance here, and is acting like a resistance here also. Support here, resistance here, resistance here.
So if you look
So-
at the daily chart, there is some gap. So maybe we can address that one too.
Yes. So
Gap up there.
yeah, that gap up had happened based on earnings. And I think Davinder, Munir and myself, we are looking whether that gap can get closed and is it an opportunity for buying put?
Yes, it is an opportunity for buying because the gap will get closed. They've already started the motion. Look at the number of days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of the 7 trading days, 3 days have been clear down trades. And they try to fill the gap up. The
So,
gap
sir-
must have been for the earnings. The super trend has turned flattish. That means it will come and touch 165 definitely.
Okay. So do you think is that the Bollinger Band, the gray line that you have, sir? What is that line?
Super
So
trend.
it's a super trend line. This 165 is a
Okay.
super trend line. Now what happens is if the super trend gets broken, then expect this price to come down all the way to 140 or even 132.
Sarji, a few weeks back when we were discussing Meta, I recall we had identified a peak target, I think around 180, 185, which of course it did hit with this gap ups. And
Yes.
then we had said that would be a time to buy a 120 put for probably end of March. I hope I'm recalling that correctly.
Yes. So if we are
And
to
that
buy
put is
120
at this
put,
point costing 31 cents, 120 put for end of March, 24th March.
exactly,
Oh,
exactly. That
I'll go buy 3.
So, and we were discussing this when, Gaurav?
Sir, I don't remember the exact one. I think it was about 3 to 4 weeks back.
3 to 4 weeks back. Look at the weekly chart now. 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. When we were already at 120 or around that time, we had told you a target of
Probably 2 weeks back.
So let me check my if I have a date on my reminder that I put in TradingView.
But it's clearly done. We did that discussion here.
We
if
had
this
that on
goes
January
up-
21st.
That's around here on this candle. On this candle, we had the date because this is January 23rd onwards. So this candle, you took a date when the price was ruling at 140. And we told you it will go up and then get ready for correction. Why did we told you to go up? Our targets were done by previous history targets over here.
Right. We had said that when it crosses 155, I think we were not expecting earnings. So my reminder says Meta crossing 155, look for 120 put for March end.
Yes, and that is exactly what we're looking at. Good. And this last week candle is actually talking about just doing that. And if you look at the day charts, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we are down. And closing to the lowest end of the week. That means this gap, because of the earnings, is now set to get filled in with super trend supporting at 165. If this gets breached, your red bearish super trend will bring it down to 140, 135 very comfortably over here, and then down to the lower Bollinger at 120. So Gaurav, thank you for reminding. I had completely forgotten about this trade of mine.
Sir, even with all the strong earnings that came up, and now that has changed the perspective about the stock, that it can come out of long-term bearish trend. Do we still see it falling all the way to 120 if that breaches the 165 mark for daily trend?
It may not touch 165, but the point is currently if I take a strike of 120,
yes,
I'm talking about March end strike. So if it crosses 165 and goes below, suddenly the trend will become bearish.
Okay.
Now with the earnings, it gave you a gap up. And if that gap gets filled in, the tone of the market will become bearish. Why is that? Because you're already at a 200-day moving average, already you're 150.
Yes.
So if super trend turns bearish, your 150 is round the corner and you will come below the 200-day moving average. The market will immediately look at you and start frowning at you. So then from 150, even if you touch 135, your put of 120 will jump up exorbitantly high. And I'm talking about March end puts. You're still 6 weeks away from March end. 6 to 7 weeks away. That is the jump the put will give you.
Yeah,
You
that also.
You need to wait till March end. You could liquidate your puts much earlier once you're in profits.
Yeah, I think that also kind of in line with when the markets will start expecting the next earnings for after another month later in March month, or right? So, okay, sounds good. Yeah.
So that's the meta analysis that's going to be.
Just one thing I wanted to add. So if you want to take a conservative put trade, you can choose a strike around 150. If you don't want to go to 120 and you want to take a closer expiry, Vivek sir mentioned expiry of 6 weeks away. If you want to play conservative, you can take a put of expiry which is about 3 to 4 weeks away with strike around 150.
Yes, that will also be a good one because it will be expensive, but it will give you it will be giving you a quantum return also.
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
You could also look at 150 expiry March end. That will give you bigger returns because that means from an OTM call or OTM put option, it will become an ITM in the money put option, and it will appreciate much faster.
Okay. Okay.
So both the ways it will work out either way out. Munir, I hope it's helping you out.
Sir, I'm looking at the meta puts. So the 120. So for March 24th, 120 was 31 cents, like I told, and 150 is $2.27.
So that $2 will really, when it starts running, it will run well. But that $2, that 150 is because of the last 3 days, it has gone up. If you look at the chart of that thing, you will realize 4 days back, around Tuesday, it would have been dirt cheap. 4 days back, around Monday, Tuesday, it would have been dirt cheap. And it must have shot up only around Thursday, Friday.
So pretty much possible, because Monday when I was trying to buy the 120 put, there were no sellers.
There will be no sellers. So that's the way the charts will actually move on. Let's take Google.
I'm also seeing that 150 put has very high open interest as well. And I'm looking 3 weeks away. March 3rd expiry, it is 89 cents, 87 cents with a very good open interest quantity.
And if you look at even the indicators here, it's clearly talking about a bearish movement happening on the MACD definitely. Look at MACD crossover about to happen. Already has happened, sorry. And look at CCI at 27, falling down. Stochastic at 76. Now, remember what I was talking about MACD? Minute the green histograms turn red, it was time to be alert, and that is exactly what happened over here. This gravestone, then one upper thing, and then the downfall started off. So the candles themselves gave us a clean idea as to what is happening, though it was a gap up. Yeah. Let's take Google, Alphabet. Something similar to Meta. Last 3 days, you are closing at the rock bottom of the week. MACD crossover clearly negative. CCI minus. Stochastic at 43. So stochastic can go down till single digit. CCI can go down another 100 points to 125 or 225. He is still not talking on MACD, talking about even thinking of reversals. The blue line is clearly down. The orange is yet to come into the zero line. So they will look for downward trend. Heavy selling pressures above than normal in the last 3 days. Daily super trend has just turned bearish and cleanly going down. Cleanly going down, not even thinking of flattening. So Google or Alphabet is clearly down. Look at this last week candle. Huge volume down. On the weekly chart, you are taking a negative crossover at the zero line on the MACD. That means this will hit lower levels comfortably. Don't expect this level to get bouncing back from 86. This is the low here, 86.37. This is the low, 85.57. The low here was 83.45. I am not expecting 83.50 to hold. Look what happened on the super trend level. It falls, flattens, falls, flattens, falls, flattens, falls, flattens, falls, flattens. It goes up, bounces down back. So I am not expecting 83.45 on Google to be held on. This will breach. I'm very clear it will breach. You want to trade Google at 94.96 currently, take a put of $80 March end and then see the fun. You're talking about $15 away. Take a strike of $80 last date of March or last Friday of March and see the price. That's the trade on this trade. One more route. Look at our support zones. This is a support level 86. Support here, support here. If this breaks, the support is all the way here, 72. 83, 72. So if you're taking a 80 strike price and this starts falling, you know how much money you'll make. Weekly chart, very clear crossovers happening. Look at your indicators on the weekly chart. Look at the indicators. Clean crossover about to happen. If this crossover happens, this is at the 0 line, it will give you a huge downfall. Now, correlate that Google, Meta, and the others are all expecting to come down. You think Nasdaq will sustain itself? You think it will not have a rub-off effect on Dow Jones?
That's exactly what I was thinking, sir.
So now you know how to look into the market and correlate what's going to happen in future.
Actually, if you look at Amazon, that's clear indication that it's going to go further down. So from last week, so yeah, it's going to bring Nasdaq down.
Look at the last two trends, last two candles. Look at this inverted hammer and then a Marubozu on a weekly chart. Look at the day chart. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A gap up and a gap down. And you're closing at the lowest point of the week. You started almost at the high point of the week and closed at the low point of the week. Indicators down, down. What is the level? 38 for stochastic can go down to 7 and 8 comfortably. If this goes down to 7 and 8, your CCA can easily go down to 225 or 250. And they can easily come down. Wait for the yellow line to come below the 0 line, and this will go bigger down. This is your first support level here, 91. If 91 is failing, 89. If 89 fails, 82. You have your targets, you have your strike prices. You can buy an 85 put March ending and see the fun. But don't go beyond March and don't go 70 or 60 just because it is cheap. Then you will lose money. So you buy an 85 strike for March end, put for Amazon, it will be worth a trade. All right, we done Boog, TQQ, and MFC. TQQ, what is it? It's turned bullish in the support and weekly chart and immediately turned flattish. It turned bullish and immediately turned flattish. It did not give you a V-shaped movement in the support trend. Look at CCI curving down. Look at stochastic at 73. Look at MACD. The crisscross is very close on a verge of giving you a red histogram. So he's giving you a selling pressure. With the selling pressure happening, you are already at your resistance of 25, 26. Upper limit 30 here, not achieving that at all because this is touching 27.45 and reversing. 26.70 and reversed. Currently at 23.87. You are at the low of 23.22, weekly low. If you come down, this is your support at 17. Look at the narrow range movement on a weekly chart for TQQ. Draw this out. So your ranges are very clearly, this is the narrow range movement and happening right from October last year. So you are expecting a breakout on either side. Will it break out? You are on a weekly 200-day moving average. Above. Difficult to break. And at the rock bottom. So things would look difficult.
So, sir, is it a good time to buy a $17 put maybe?
You could look at buying a $17 put. Why not? A $17 put or even 1 second. Buy and not able to draw that. $17 put, yes, but again, long put. Not immediate. Don't take a short put. Take a long strike price. Long expiry. Possibly, I would look at third week of March.
Yes, sir. It is 50 cents.
Yeah, third week of March, third week or fourth week of March, a $17 put would be a good price to buy.
Okay.
Right?
Makes sense, sir. So, Ismail, I just had one more question.
Sure.
On the day chart of TQQ, again, yes, there are quite a few indicators that are clearly bearish, but after the two big red candles, I'm not sure how you see it on Yahoo Finance, but I see a small hammer right at the, it's closed very close to the 10 moving average. So I know you are taking 8, so आपका थोड़ा सा शायद yours would be slightly lower. But would that, I mean, that is also sort of a reversal sign, but are we saying that the bearish indicators are overwhelming enough to ignore it or overpower it?
Look at the last three candles. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, clean Marubazu. Second, Friday, Thursday, clean Marubazu. Friday, he gives you a doji. Day chart. 200-day moving average, clearly above. 8 moving average above the price. What is in between? You are near the 20 moving average, near the flattened super trend on a day chart. MACD has clearly given you a negative crossover. Histograms are anyway below the zero line. CCI is already below the zero line. Stochastic at 65. Why should it climb back? There was a gap on this day. That gap has been filled in.
Yep.
Gap has been filled in completely. In how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So within a week, the gap got filled in. Now, what do you expect to go down? This support level at 2150
Mm-hmm.
or 2175, and then thereafter 19. At 19, you would be near the lower Bollinger Band. This support trend at 20 broken. This support trend at 2250 broken. This at 1850 waiting, and this giving you support at 1730. At 1730, this support will start coming in play of $16.
Okay.
So you should be buying it around 17 with a stop loss of 1580 or 16, target again of 26, and hold it for long. But
Okay.
buy it when? At 17.
Fair enough.
Buy it at 17, stop loss of 16, target of 26. But immediately you can look at buying a put of, let's say, 18 or whatever you want to pick up, 18 or 17, but March end.
Right.
Third week March or March end put, comfortably it will come down. Just let flow with the trend. The trend will help you achieve your targets.
Take it, sir. Got it.
Huh?
Right. Yes, sir.
Sir, I know it's 1 a.m. for you. You can take the last one because you analyze TQQ. Sunita has requested SQQ. You can analyze as the last one, and then I can finish off with the rest.
So you want me to analyze SQQ or
SQQ? Because
and not
TQQ you
MFC?
analyzed, so
not
SQQ
MFC?
will be quicker.
What else is there? Only SQQ is left now. SQQ and that's it.
MFC, gold and silver.
MFC. 1 second. I might as well finish off MFC also, and then
Because you analyze TQQ, so I was saying SQQ will take
I
shorter
will do
time.
it either way out. Give me 2 minutes. It won't make a difference. Let's take MFC first, and then we'll take SQQ, and then that's be done.
There are 2 more gold and silver, which I can.
Done. MFC on a monthly chart. I think we've done this, Gaurav, earlier also. Rising trend, but super trend has just turned flattish. But 8 moving average, giving it a very strong support.
Yes, sir.
8 moving average, giving it a very strong support. Though selling pressures have come in the last 2 weeks, but they are still able to close above. It is giving you a lower low this week, but still closing above. Possibly a series of exhaustion happening over here. Your CCI has curved down. Your stochastic is clearly in an overbought position at 91. So a correction can come, but the correction will come only to the level of about $18.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be a buyer of MFC around 18, stop loss of as low as $17, or $1 stop loss, or a 70 cent, which is the low of this candle, 1730, low of this candle, and at 18 you can be a buyer of this, because here the super trend is also 1770, whereas I'm keeping my stop loss at $17. So buyer at 18, $1 stop loss, and target can straight be 1955 or 20 also.
Okay.
Yeah, 1955 or 20, that is your trade. Because on a weekly chart, he is still looking on an upward trend. Look at the trend formation here. I could draw a parallel trend line
Yes.
on this track comfortably. Let me actually do that in case if we have our new learners who have just joined our batch, you will realize this happening here. Why is it not drawing? Anyway, this is the trend which is being seen, and the lower trend will always continue up to the same level. So if it comes down to 18, that is the lower support trend. You buy it around 18 and take it to a higher trend level of 2021 or 2020. First 20 target, then higher you can keep trailing your targets. In this, you can also take up a call if you want of about, when it touches 18, you take a call of 20.
Okay, makes sense.
Right? Fair enough?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Next was SQQ, which Sunita has asked for. Super trend bearish has turned flattish, so that is the first target of 41.50. Where you are buying it? I will not buy it immediately here. I may look for a correction at 35 or lower and keep my stop losses. The low over here would be 32.20, stop loss of 32. Buying price could be anything at 34, 35 or 35, and target would be 41 straight. Very important. MACD crossover, bullish crossover happened over here, but happened far below the zero line. The MACD line and signal lines have yet to come into the histograms. Possibly with the climb, it will be a weak climb. So it may give you a sideways correction in the market, which is what we were talking about. Dow Jones and slight sideways, you may get this price around 34, 35 also. SQQ. But indicators are looking bullish. Look at CCI minus 10 can go all the way up to 115 or even 175, 200. If this has to go up, that means this target of 41.50 or 42 is not far away. But even from here, if you look at 41.50, you are talking of almost about $4.5 or $5 on $35 or $36 price. It's a good return of investment. Stochastic at 22, very tempting. Very tempting. MACD crossover done. CCI at minus 10, stochastic at 22, very tempting. Price has just crossed above the 8 moving average. So the momentum may be slow, but it is definitely looking up. Right? Vivek, TSX we have already done, unless it's a different number, different share. MG.
Yeah, sorry, MG and TSX, sir. That's what I meant.
MG, TSX we have already done, no, just now?
No, MG is a stock in TSX.
On TSX.
All right. So sorry.
Sir, also there were two more from Sunita, gold and silver.
I'll just take that. MG is Magna.
Yeah. I have not entered. I'm just looking because it's amazingly down.
It's a clear super trend turn bullish, bearish.
Yeah.
With a huge volume.
Yeah.
Huge volume.
I'm
So,
just looking
Vivek,
for the support, sir.
for support,
I'm just waiting. I'm not even touching it.
don't even touch it just now.
I'm just
Support,
watching.
first support should be somewhere around. Where are you currently? At 72?
It's at 72.16. It's outside the Bollinger Band.
I know it's completely gone out. So why should we even look at this support at this one second? This is
They give a dividend of 4%.
Yeah, but look at the gap down.
Yeah.
Right from 86, it went down to 78. It opened at 77. It cleaned off all this effort of climb in just one day.
Yep.
Yes, sir. How is it looking on the weekly chart?
Weekly will be bad, equally bad. Look at the Marubasu. You don't realize the gap down it created, but one gap down one day cleared the entire band of week. Week means this is the level I'm looking at now at 62, 64. First support, I will look at 64 or 65.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, the same I'm looking at, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, it will come back, sir. It's a good company, but it will come back. I don't know what's happening, but
then I would, if I were you, I would trade it very carefully. At 64, I would nibble. I would first test the water because it's a falling knife. This is a huge Marubasu candle. Look at this one candle has cleaned off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 weeks of trading. 15 weeks of trading is about 4 months of trading has been knocked off by just one day. So it must have been a huge news for it to fall, and it's falling with volume. Falling with volume. Vivek, at 62, 63, I will be very careful to buy. I will only nibble.
Sir, I was thinking 58, 59, sir. I never touched it, but like I'm just, it came on my
58, 59, Vivek would be almost 2-year-old price. Look
But
at the price.
Support is strong there, sir.
So it's a weekly support, no doubt. It's a weekly support.
Yeah.
But look at the last price it touched, 2020.
Yes, sir.
That's the way it was at 2020. Yeah. 63 at 2020 over here. October 2020. And this is the low here at almost 58. Now, so 58 is the low on this, 57.40 is the low here on 20th of September. So I would nibble at 63, 64 and keep 58 as my second buying price.
Sure, sir.
Right? Good. Let's take gold now. Kamal, which is this one? GCF or?
Sir, gold on here you will see that F is for futures. You can take that, or gold ticker on trading view. That is the other alternative. You can take this. That's okay.
Weekly exhaustion candles over here. Big Marubasu, you are at your 8 moving average and falling down. Negative crossover. Falling CCI. Stochastic at 87, overbought. Expect a dip in correction. International news is bad, gold will fall. Super trend rising has flattened. Bullish super trend has flattened. So first target on gold on the downside is something around 18 24, 18, 25. A $50 dip is expected in gold now. With that, the next price will be 1775, 1777, which is a 20 moving average. Though 20 and 34 have just crossed over in the bullish trend, I would look for 1777 as the next fall after the super trend gets broken. So 1777 or 1765 would be the next level to look for on the fall down. That is where you will buy for the price to again bounce back from. Not expecting the price to go to 1630 or 1625. I'm expecting this level super trend to break, take support at 1777 or 1765, and then back to 1930, 1935. Gold will be this. The trend has just turned bearish. Histograms have come down to zero levels. CCI is at 43, falling, and stochastic at 87, overbought, time for corrections, which your MACD histograms have already given you. The signal line and the MACD line crossover has already taken place. Negative crossover has already taken place because of this second last bearish Marubazu or bearish candle, red candle. The two candles prior to that were doji, undecisive, gave you a Marubazu and falling down. Clear? My trend will negate and go back upwards only if this 1931 gets taken out conclusively. But I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm not expecting that to happen. That was the weekly chart, the day chart. Clear. On the day chart, it's clearly going down. This entire week was consolidating at this level, trying to hold it up, but currently below the 8, below the 20, below the 34, and 8 and 34 is giving you a bearish crossover. If 834 gives you a bearish crossover on the day chart, your 200-day moving average at 17,777 will get breached. 17,777 will get breached. Negative crossover here, trying to go up, but pressures from down. CCI climbed up, flattened, so again can fall down. Stochastic fell down, flattened, trying to climb up, went to 18, currently at 12, can again fall down. The gold is looking weak. Silver, like gold, silver also looking very weak. Look at the candles. Very, very weak candles. They're practically flattened and weak. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 7 days of trading, 1.5 weeks of trading, and you are in a very narrow range box of silver. And touching the lower end, high volume on Friday, no chances of reversal, though histograms are becoming small in size. The crossovers are not yet taking place. This can always crack further down. If this cracks further down, this 20.5 or 20.6 is round the corner. And this gap can easily get filled. Let me show you the gap. This gap can easily get filled. This gap has not yet been filled in so far. This is 19.5 or 19.3 and 19.20. This has not yet been filled. So this gap is the first one that they want to fill it. Right? This gap is the first one they will want to fill it up. Second gap to get filled in. So if it falls, 1830. Clear? Any questions?
So I think just the last question from Vivek is bso.un.
Sure.
You can take that as the last one.
bso.un. I can't see it. Vivek, what's the company name? All right.
Sir, I think it's an ETF.
Sir, it's a REIT
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Brookfield.
Brookfield. Yeah.
Brookfield Select.
Mhm.
That's the one.
Yes, sir. Again, I'm watching. I'm not
Not
entered.
trading.
Not yet entered, sir. Looking to
Not
see
trading.
whether this crossover would happen. It will go from 2 to maybe 3. Who knows?
But again, huge fall, single day fall. Oh, this is a weekly fall, sorry. Three days of huge falling. 1, 2, 3, and then consolidating into a very, very narrow range. All right, this is an ETF. So let's take this weekly chart. It went down to 1.8.
Yes, sir.
Vivek, look at this current price at 2.21.
Mhm.
Can you see the price touching before 2020?
Yes, sir. No,
Where?
sir.
No,
It's-
it only touched over here.
Yeah.
It only touched over here. 15 March 2020.
Yes, sir.
That was COVID.
Yeah, true.
Right? After that, it's already come back to the same price again.
Okay.
The low was 1.1, 1.83 here. You already touched 1.8 recently. So
Mhm.
you touched your COVID lows and then getting ready. So if you were to buy this, currently 2.36, I would be a buyer with very strong stop loss at 1.8,
Okay, sir.
right? Because it is trading in such a narrow range, you actually cannot identify a buying price for this so far. But anything above 2.1 or 2, I would be a buyer because the price is very low and 1.8 or 1.75 will be my stop loss.
Sure, sir.
Right? Only if you're expecting this price to really shoot up because it has already touched its COVID levels.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the way it goes. Anybody else, any questions? I think we have covered every
Yes,
share
sir.
I requested. Right? Any questions on the YouTube? Any questions on platform here?
No new requests, sir.
None? All right. 1:25 in India time in the night. I don't know what time is it there. You guys enjoy yourselves.
Yes.
If nothing else left, all I can say is thank you very much. Have a great profitable week ahead. You had 2 or 3 good trades identified. So might as well pick up those options and trade accordingly. But please trade with the edge, trade on the edge, and happy trading.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
you
sir.
for analysis and catching few good profitable trades which we could take in this week, and also making sure that all the requests are analyzed and covered. Thanks for stretching late.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Thank you. Have a good night and
Thank you, sir.
good luck for
Thank you.
everyone.